A shocking clue may have just changed everything we know about the current dynamic between Carly, Valentine, and Josslyn. Something isn't adding up anymore, and if you ask me, we are standing on the precipice of a massive explosion that will leave permanent scars. We all know that Sonny Corinthos tasked his trusted associate, Brick, with digging up dirt on Valentine Cassadine. We also know that Brick delivered a highly explosive USB drive directly to Carly, giving her the ultimate weapon to destroy Valentine's life and remove him from her orbit. But Carly, being fiercely independent and stubbornly loyal to her own heart, decided to keep it a secret. She buried it. She didn't tell Valentine about the damning evidence, and she certainly didn't tell Sonny what she planned to do with it. But what if that ticking time bomb of a flash drive didn't stay buried? What if someone else found it? The viewers need to feel that a massive secret is right in front of us, and I firmly believe that this secret doesn't involve Carly using the drive, but rather someone else hijacking the entire narrative to serve their own protective agenda. Let us zoom in on a very specific, easily overlooked detail in this unfolding drama. The clue here isn't just the physical USB drive itself. It is the physical location of that drive and the people constantly orbiting Carly's chaotic world. Imagine this scenario. Brick and Carly having a hushed, intense conversation in her home about the sheer magnitude of the criminal evidence stored on that tiny piece of technology. Now, imagine Josslyn walking in at the exact wrong, or perhaps the exact right, moment. We know Josslyn has been hovering around, recovering from her gunshot wound, dealing with her intense WSB drama, and constantly worrying about her mother's dangerous romantic choices. It may not be a coincidence that Josslyn is so deeply intertwined in this WSB storyline right now, while simultaneously living under the same roof where this USB is hidden. If Josslyn overhears even a fraction of that conversation between Carly and Brick, or if she catches a glimpse of her mother hiding a suspicious device, her finely tuned investigative instincts are going to kick into high gear immediately. That is where things become incredibly interesting. Josslyn is no longer the naive teenager she used to be. She is a fully trained, highly capable WSB operative who just played a crucial role in brutally taking down the rogue agent Ross Cullum. If she hears Brick mention a drive containing Valentine's darkest, most damning criminal activities, she isn't just going to walk away and mind her own business. She is going to wait for her mother to drop her guard. I can clearly see a scene where Carly leaves the house to deal with the ongoing drama at the Metro Court, and Josslyn immediately goes hunting. She knows her mother's hiding spots better than anyone. She knows how Carly thinks and where she stashes her secrets. Finding that USB drive would be absolute child's play for someone with Josslyn's specific, rigorous WSB training. Once she has that drive in her hand, the dots start connecting at lightning speed. If this detail is true, and Josslyn plugs that USB into her encrypted laptop, what exactly is she going to see? We are talking about offshore bank accounts, untraceable shell companies, illegal arms deals, and undeniable proof of Valentine's complicity in a global criminal syndicate. With her WSB training, Josslyn would be able to decipher those encrypted files faster than anyone else in Port Charles. She would instantly realize the absolute power she holds in the palm of her hand. This isn't just a piece of local gossip or a minor infraction. This is the definitive key to locking Valentine Cassadine away in a maximum security federal penitentiary for the rest of his natural life. But here is the bigger question. And this is where the puzzle pieces really start to form a shocking, unexpected picture. Why wouldn't Josslyn just hand this golden evidence straight over to Police Chief Anna Devane, or her ambitious boss, Z, at the WSB? If you ask me, taking it to the authorities contradicts everything Josslyn has fought for and bled for over the past few weeks. Think about it, guys. Josslyn literally just made a secret, high-stakes deal with Z to pin all of Ross Cullum's horrific crimes on the deceased Cassius Faison. Why did she do that? To secure full unconditional pardons for Jason Morgan and Valentine Cassadine. She moved mountains, manipulated federal intelligence, and compromised her own moral compass to get Valentine out of WSB custody, specifically to protect her mother from legal blowback and profound heartbreak. If she turns around and hands this newly discovered USB drive to the police or the feds, she completely undoes all her own hard work. It would make her prior, highly illegal deal with Z completely pointless and could even expose her own manipulation of the federal investigation. Furthermore, handing the drive to the authorities would inevitably drag Carly right back into the investigative crosshairs. The police would ask how Carly got the drive, why she was hiding it from the authorities, and whether she was acting as an active accomplice to Valentine's ongoing crimes. Josslyn is far too smart and far too protective to trigger that kind of legal avalanche. She wants to shield Carly from the fallout, not send her to prison as an accessory. That makes the option of going to the police completely unviable and far too risky. So, what does a highly trained, fiercely protective daughter do when she holds the ultimate leverage over the man she believes is a toxic, looming danger to her mother's life? This leads us to the big reveal theory. I believe we are about to witness Josslyn orchestrate the most ruthless, brilliant blackmail scheme in recent General Hospital history. She isn't going to use the USB to destroy Valentine's physical freedom. She is going to use it to entirely control his romantic future. I can envision a highly secretive, incredibly tense meetup between Josslyn and Valentine. She summons him to an isolated location, CO foggy docks at midnight, or a quiet, shadowy corner of the Metro Court, and she lays all her cards on the table. Imagine the sheer look of terror on Valentine's face when Josslyn slides a copy of that USB drive across the table. He is a master manipulator, a man who always thinks 10 steps ahead of his enemies, but in this moment, he would be completely and utterly blindsided. Josslyn would look him dead in the eye and deliver a strict, non-negotiable ultimatum. She wouldn't yell, she wouldn't scream, and she wouldn't throw a tantrum. She would be cold, calculated, and terrifyingly calm, channeling the very best of her WSB training. She would tell him that she has reviewed every single byte of data on that drive, and she knows exactly what it means for his freedom, his financial empire, and his ability to raise his beloved daughter, Charlotte. The terms of Josslyn's blackmail would be brilliantly simple, yet devastatingly effective. She offers to hand over the original USB drive and permanently delete all of her encrypted copies, allowing Valentine to personally destroy the evidence of his crimes and secure his freedom. In exchange, Valentine must do exactly one thing. He must break Carly's heart into a million pieces. He must completely and permanently sever all romantic ties with Carly, walk away from their relationship without looking back, and vanish from her personal life forever. Josslyn knows that Carly is incredibly stubborn. If Josslyn simply asks her mother to dump Valentine, Carly will dig her heels in, defend him, and push her daughter away. The only way to end this toxic romance is to force Valentine to be the one who walks away, taking the blame entirely on his own shoulder. This theory could explain a lot about where the writers are taking this complex storyline. It perfectly aligns with Josslyn's overarching motivation throughout this entire saga, protecting her family at all costs, even if it means getting her hands dirty. She doesn't necessarily want Valentine rotting in a cell at Steinmauer because she knows how much that would hurt Charlotte and how messy the emotional fallout would be for everyone involved. She just wants him far, far away from her mother. By forcing Valentine to initiate the abrupt breakup, Josslyn ensures that Carly will be the innocent victim, allowing Carly to eventually heal and move on without feeling like her daughter intentionally sabotaged her happiness. It is a masterful, albeit incredibly manipulative strategy that showcases just how much of Carly's ruthless, fiercely protective DNA Josslyn has actually inherited. Now, let's talk about the aftermath if this explosive theory plays out exactly as we suspect. Who stands to lose? Everything in this scenario. Valentine is suddenly backed into an impossible, suffocating corner. For a man who prides himself on absolute control and intellectual superiority, Realizing that a 20-something WSB rookie has entirely outmaneuvered him would be a bitter, humiliating pill to swallow. Valentine genuinely loves Carly. We have seen the authentic affection, the shared vulnerability, and the deep emotional bond they have formed while hiding out and plotting against Jack Brennan. But Valentine also fiercely loves his freedom, and more importantly, he loves Charlotte with every fiber of his being. If forced to choose between a romantic future with Carly and his ability to remain a free, present father to his teenage daughter, Valentine will choose his freedom every single time. There is simply no other option for a man like him. He will have to accept Josslyn's harsh terms. He will take the USB drive, destroy it to protect his empire, and then he will have to execute the hardest, most painful part of the deal. He will have to look Carly in the eyes and tell her that their epic romance is completely over. He will have to lie to her face, perhaps telling her that his feelings have suddenly changed, or that the danger of his criminal lifestyle is too great for her to bear, or even cruelly claiming that he is still deeply in love with Anna Devane. Whatever excuse he uses, it has to be brutal enough and convincing enough to ensure Carly never tries to win him back. Valentine will lose the woman he has grown to love, all because he severely underestimated the fierce, calculated, protective instincts of her daughter. The ripple effects of this secret blackmail deal would be absolutely massive across the canvas. Who benefits from this hidden manipulation? Sonny Corinthos, for one. When Valentine abruptly dumps Carly, Sonny is going to assume that Brick's intense investigation and the delivery of the USB drive did exactly what it was supposed to do. Sonny will be sitting in his luxurious penthouse, sipping his expensive bourbon, smugly believing that his sabotage plot was a total, unmitigated success. He won't have the slightest clue that his own former stepdaughter Josslyn was the actual mastermind pulling the strings in the shadows, using the very weapon Sonny provided to achieve her own ends. And what about Carly? She will be utterly devastated and completely blindsided. She fiercely defended Valentine against Lulu's harsh, relentless criticisms. She fought Sonny tooth and nail to protect her right to date whoever she chooses, and she risked her own physical freedom to hide Valentine in her attic for months. To have him suddenly turn around and shatter her heart after all they have been through will leave her reeling and deeply insecure. But the greatest, most profound tragedy of this entire situation is that Carly will inevitably seek comfort from the very person who secretly orchestrated her heartbreak, Josslyn. Josslyn will have to sit there, holding her crying mother, offering words of comfort, knowing full well that she is the direct reason Carly is in so much agonizing pain. It is a heavy, suffocating burden to carry, a dark secret that will undoubtedly eat away at Josslyn's conscience over time. We may be looking at the beginning of something huge here, guys. The truth could be closer than anyone realizes, and this secret, coerced alliance between Josslyn and Valentine is a ticking time bomb just waiting to detonate. What happens when Carly eventually figures out that her own daughter blackmailed her boyfriend into leaving her? What happens when the WSB realizes Josslyn is using classified criminal data to settle personal family disputes? Someone may not be ready for what's coming next. Because when Carly Spencer inevitably discovers she has been manipulated and lied to by her own flesh and blood, the fallout will be absolutely apocalyptic. Keep your eyes peeled and your theories sharp, because the dynamics in Port Charles are about to shift in a way nobody saw coming.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.